What are you looking for, Judy?
I'm looking for the appendix.
Don't look at me. I don't have one anymore.
We'll explain more about that next on Garden Time. Welcome to Garden Time, and what we're referring to is William's appendix that was removed after we finished filming last week.
You might remember we recently done a story with Teresa Hazen about all of the Legacy Healthcare System's healing gardens. Well, I was at Meridian Park last week, and I certainly enjoyed visiting the healing garden there. And I wanted to say a big thank you to the doctor, nurses, and all of the staff, which were so kind in helping me out during my time there.
Coming up in the show today, we'll be talking about pollen and what you can do to alleviate the symptoms.
We'll also be taking you on a beautiful visit to the Lord and Schryver Gardens in Salem.
But coming up first, we'll be going to a garden in training. One of my favorite events for June is the Garden Railway Tour, and I'm with Alan and Nola Olson, and we are at their backyard. And so, Alan, this is just tremendous.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
And so, how old is this railway? Because you said you had another one in Oregon, and here in Washington, there's another one.
When we lived in Oregon about 16, 17 years ago, I had visited a railroad in Lake Oswego. And I said, I have to do this. I don't care how expensive it is. I know it is, but a little bit at a time. And so when we moved over here to retire, yes, I pulled up all my track, just about all of the plants and trees, and loaded them up and brought them over here. And in 3 to 4 months, I had a railroad up and running.
And then what is the inspiration here? Because everybody has a theme or a time frame.
The time frame is late 1800s to the early 1900s steam era. And I kind of chose steam because it is a small railroad, and if I ran long diesel trains, it wouldn't look that good. So that's one of the reasons I've chosen this era. Plus, it's just a fun era to choose and to run trains. A lot of the buildings are named after family, places I've worked, and different areas of the country.
That is nice. And I know that there's some special, fun, kind of whimsical segments of this. So name a couple of your favorites.
I have Han Solo in town with his phaser drawn. There's a couple of dinosaurs around. There's also...
I love the laundry on the water tower.
Yes, yes. the three slips on the water tower, which are indicative of...
Petticoat Junction.
Petticoat Junction, that's right.
One of my favorites as a kid.
Yes, and so the other one was Winnie the Pooh and in the river in his upside down umbrella.
So I noticed there's some riders on the train, so who are those characters?
We have a hobo riding a rail car and sitting on top of a bag of wheat or potatoes with his dog friend.
Aww.
And then my wife has also built myself over here as the engineer, and my favorite dog, which is a bulldog, on the other side with his tongue hanging out going into the wind. So yeah, lots of fun and whimsy, we call it, in the railroad.
So if you come to this railway on the tour, you have to look for all those little whimsical things to see. So this garden railway would be nothing except for Nola. She's the gardener of the two, and so Nola, this is just unbelievable, bonsais all over the garden.
Well, you got to try to keep things in scale so it looks like a believable landscape.
Oh, it is. I mean, everything is to scale, and you have just not conifers, you have a lot of deciduous plants too.
Yes, we're especially proud of the maples that we have in town. We named the town Mapleton because of the maples. The mother tree was next door, and it grew to be 3 stories high and 60 feet wide. But it always had very small leaves, and so we brought it over, and it's been in the railroad for 15 years now, and it's about knee high. So it's 15 years old and knee high.
Wow, it's tremendous.
It's true. The Japanese say that bonsai does not have to be done to a dwarf or a miniature. Any plant can be bonsai.
Very true, very true. And is that a lot of work in the springtime to take care of all that?
Yes.
Well, it shows.
Especially this year because of all the wet. And when I came out, there was literally a ball in front of me, and I thought, okay, there's a structure under there somewhere. Just dig in, and that's what I did. I just dived, because sometimes that's what you have to do, just dive in.
Because it's like a haircut, isn't it?
Yes, especially with Alberta spruce. If you give them a bad haircut, they go spring.
Just keep going.
Yeah, they keep going.
And talk to us about that wisteria. That's incredible.
We found it when it was 6 inches high and 6 inches wide, and we had that one for about 20 years. And
Wow.
It's a Chinese dwarf wisteria, and we just really enjoyed it. It now goes around 3 sides of the farmhouse.
It is amazing. That is truly amazing, because you know how big they get when they put them in the front yard.
Yeah, well, if it wasn't miniaturized, I don't know what it would look like.
Definitely. Well, we have to talk to you about the tour, so I'm going to go back and talk to Alan. So how can we get to see this garden railway and some of the others?
We're going to be open on June 17th from 10 a.m. in the morning to 5 p.m. in the afternoon. We've been doing this for 13 years, the day before Father's Day, so it's kind of can be a Father's Day event for a lot of families that choose to come out. You're able to pick up the books. It's $10 per family. Load your car up, bring a lot of people out, and you can pick up the books from hobby stores, from garden centers around the area, and they're listed on the website of www.rcgrs.com.
So how many garden railways are on the tour this year?
This year we're featuring 14 garden railroads, all the way from mine in Vancouver, from Corbett, Hillsborough, Portland, Tigard, Tualatin, all over.
Well, it is truly a wonderful event. We've done this show from many different gardens over the years, and each one is so unique. You really got to get your family in the car that weekend and come on out and see them and talk to the people that created them and check out the plants, and you'll have a great day. Thank you so much, and thanks for that beautiful garden. Unbelievable. And railway.
Thank you. Thank you.
Garden Time is brought to you by Capital Subaru, your way on the Parkway.
I've been a Capital Subaru customer for 15 years, and one of the main reasons is because they treat me well and I want to shop local. The service department is excellent, and I always feel like I'm taken care of here. In fact, they call me now even after I've driven off the lot to remind me to come in and get my car washed. That's service. One of the reasons why I like coming to Capital Subaru, actually, they have the dog area, and I can just walk my dog around the whole area and we can enjoy the outside. I got it my way on the Parkway.
The health and beauty of your garden starts from the ground up, and healthy soils begin at Grimm's Fuel. For the best in garden mulch, blended soils, and bark dust, choose Grimm's. U-Haul delivered or installed, Grimm's can do it. And if you're looking for a new lawn, Grimm's can do that too with our special lawn installation service. Grimm's is also the area's largest recycler of yard debris. The foundation for a healthy garden begins at Grimm's Fuel.
William, I'm serving you papers.
Oh.
But don't worry, it's a pair of 3-day passes for the Oregon Jamboree.
And if you want to know how you can lock up these 3 passes, all you have to do is go to gardentime.tv, send us your name in your email.
So don't forget, enter today.
Dram is celebrating 75 years of design and manufacturing of quality watering tools. Dram products feature 9 water patterns and are designed to nurture your plants with a shower of rain. Dram for lawn and garden, available at garden centers near you.
Over the 30 years that our family has been in the nursery industry, we've learned that anyone can supply a customer with plants and garden supplies. But it's supplying those plants and supplies backed by a knowledgeable staff that can transform a garden and take it from ordinary to extraordinary. That's what we do at Sagawa Nursery. Why be ordinary when you can be extraordinary? Sagawa Nursery, growing beyond the ordinary.
Well, I am with a special guest today. I am with Prime Minister of the Royal Rosarians, Jim Stahl, and thank you, Prime Minister, for meeting with us today. It's really an honor.
Oh, wow. It is an honor to be a Rosarian. Thank you.
I bet. And we're in a beautiful setting. Where is this Rose Garden? Please tell us.
We are located in the Rose Garden for St. John Fisher Church. It's in Southwest Portland on about 47th in Vermont. And this is actually the place where we had the blessing of the Rose Festival. Oh. And this is the garden that we dedicated during that event in April.
And everybody can come and see it. It's really lovely. The fragrance is wonderful.
Oh yeah, it's great. Janine and I, my wife and I, actually planted this garden 2 years ago in celebration for this blessing of the festival that was coming up this year. And we planted 120 roses. Wow. And it's just beautiful here. We like it a lot.
And you know, we see you in the Rose Festival Parade, we see you around town at different Portland events, but what exactly is a Royal Rosarian?
Well, the Rosarians are the official, by mayoral proclamation, we are the official greeters and ambassadors of goodwill for the city of Portland. So we do a lot to greet dignitaries as they come into town, or people from Portland and such. And then we also have our annual honorary knighting ceremony that we do the Friday before the Grand Floral Parade.
Oh wow, and that's, I'm sure, a big event too,
Yes.
but so many other events that, what else do you do during Rose Time?
Well, during the Rose Time, we also have our Grand Floral Ball that we put on for out-of-towners who come in and meet with us. We have a Queen's Garden Party where we invite all the past queens and princesses to come in and celebrate a big party, a big luncheon at the Doubletree. And it's a lot of fun to see the past queens and to honor them for what they did.
That is so nice. And I know that you also go overseas to really bring Portland to other countries.
Yes, we travel worldwide planting recognition roses. And this year we've actually planted a rose. Just a couple of weeks ago we planted our 5th rose in the 5th country that we planted a rose this year.
That is amazing. And so do you have a long term for when you're Prime Minister?
Yes, my position runs through September of this year, and then a new Prime Minister will be in place for next year.
Well, I know we always enjoy the Royal Rosarians in the Rose Festival Parade, but you do more than just march.
Yes, we actually we have a marching group where we have about 80 or so Rosarians in the marching group itself, but we also have Rosarians that are marshals for each one of the floats and each one of the marching bands as well. So they're quite busy. There's about 150 of them in a Starlight or Grand Floral Parade.
And I know it's not just marching and parades, you also have a foundation that does really good works.
Yes, our foundation is quite busy, and we have an auction every year to where we go through and we raise money during that auction and other events as well throughout the year, so that we can provide a program to where we provide a program for the school kids, a field trip program, to where we sponsor the transportation for their field trips.
Oh, that's wonderful. That is
Yeah,
a great
it's a lot of
charity,
fun
yes.
to be involved with that.
Definitely.
The Rosarians are made up of people who are very giving people, who give of their time and their efforts, and it's an incredible group to be part of.
Oh, I bet. And so, is there some place that we can go to get more information about the Royal
Yes,
Rosarians?
just about all of our events are available. We have our calendar and such. It's on royalrosarians.com.
That is right. Wonderful.
Yes.
So if you've been wondering about all these people walking around in their white suits, now you have just a little bit of the history of this organization. So please go to the website and find out more about them. And when you do see them at an event in Portland, you know that they are honoring us and really bringing the word of Portland all over the world. Thanks so much for what you do.
Thank you, and for you, a rose in Portland Grove.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Garden Time is brought to you by Portland Nursery, a passion for plants, a nursery for plant people.
Hi, I'm Sarah from Portland Nursery. Gardening makes for wonderful family time. Whether it's updating your landscape or planting a veggie garden, at Portland Nursery, our great selection and staff of professionals can help ensure your family's success. Visit portlandnursery.com for a list of our classes, events, or sign up for our newsletter. Portland Nursery, let our family help your family grow at 50th and Stark or 90th and Division.
Experience more than 120 great beers, ciders, and meads from 60 breweries at the annual Oregon Garden Brewfest. Sip your beer while strolling through 80 acres of gardens, enjoying live music while tasting local foods. The Oregon Garden is less than an hour south of Portland in historic Silverton, and tickets start at just $15. For tickets to the Oregon Garden Brewfest, go to OregonGarden.org.
Spring is the time when minds turn to a Vintage Flea. Stop by Margie's Farm and Garden and see tons of handcrafted gifts and unique vintage items. There are treasures that will please everyone in the family. Reclaim a vintage item that will become an instant heirloom in your family. We have tasty treats while you shop, and we will have 30% off all our flowers too. We will also be offering classes where you can make a handcrafted gift that you can take home. We'll see you at a Vintage Flea.
Why have a yard that looks like everyone else? French Prairie Perennials can give you something different by using our unique form of landscape design, visualscaping. We can give you a landscape as unique as you are. Focusing on year-round color and low maintenance allows you to relax and enjoy your yard all 12 months. On-site plant demonstrations allow you to see how beautiful your garden will look before you buy. Give us a call or stop by our retail location on weekends. French Prairie Perennials.
I am at Margie's Farm and Garden today, and there's so much going on. I have to talk to Kathy about a Vintage Flea. So what's that?
Oh, so Vintage Flea, we got together with Margie and we've brought in 60 of these fabulous vendors. We've got antiques and collectibles, we've got vintage, we've got repurposed furniture, we've got handcrafted items, we've got these glycerin soaps handmade by a local gal that you could eat. They smell so good.
Kathy, with all going on today, it must cost a fortune to get here today.
Oh no, not at all. It's free. It's free all day today from 9 till 5. It's even free parking.
Oh, that is good. So what else can we find? I see vintage on so many different kind of sales. So what exactly does that mean?
Oh my gosh. Well, vintage is pretty much anything that you want it to mean, but vintage right now is the big catchphrase for anything mid-century, modern, kind of things that our kids think are old, but they aren't necessarily to us. So you've got anywhere from antiques that's 100 years old to the vintage, which is more like 50 years old. And then we also have people that have taken the great barn wood, turned it into fantastic furniture and signs.
Yeah, that is nice. And any of those old windows, I love those.
Oh yeah, the windows and doors.
Yeah.
Yeah, that you can turn into anything at your house. Yeah. We've got those.
And then what about garden art? I need some stuff in my garden to make it bling.
Of course, we're in a nursery. So yeah, we've got great things to go along with Margie's fabulous flowers.
And furniture? Maybe repurposed furniture?
Of course, yeah. Take an old dresser, turn it into something else, or just find the fabulous refinished, painted, or just, decorated furniture that'll fit in any decor.
And you get so many ideas, I think. So you get those pieces and you talk to people and they really give you many, many things that you could do at your own home.
Yes, definitely. Cool. And even set up in their booths so that you can see how to use those things in your home. Right.
That is so helpful because I am so inept at that.
Yeah, I bet not.
Oh, it is. And then other things going on today.
Yeah, well, along that line too, we also offer classes all along in our last 4 shows. We've had different classes. So this year's no exception. We have a great kids class that you can come drop your kids off. They can make a nice little scrapbook or art book, take home with them. That's free. And then we have at 2 o'clock we have this great banner class where you can make a 4th of July decoration out of burlap, paint it yourself, and take that home as well. But the exciting one too is at 10:30 we have Margie doing a succulent class.
So for all the plant geeks in us, so now I'm going to talk to Margie because Margie, there's going to be plant geeks here because it's Margie's Farm and Garden.
Of course, we attract those.
So we can go get some containers from the vintage areas and then come and make some kind of sedum.
Yes. At 10:30 today we're doing a sedum and succulent class. We have a few examples here that we've already made up. We took an old paint can.
Clever.
Painted it with chalkboard paint, and so you can make your own decorations on there and plant that up. We took this old garbage can lid.
Look at that.
And planted that up. Isn't that great?
These people are so talented here. You'd never think about using the lid. You throw that out into the recycle.
Yeah, no, that's great. And then we've got this old drawer.
Aw, oh, look at that. Just
that
a little bit
planted
of paint
up.
and
so we can help you find containers around here that you can plant up. If you have something old at home you want to bring in, an old shoe, old garbage can lid, anything like that, we can help you plant that up also.
It's so nice to get some direction because sometimes people are just like, I'm at a loss. So really come and see the expert here.
Yes, yeah, we can help you. We got some creative people here that can help you find something.
And I see you have all kinds of other beautiful plants. So really baskets, you have annuals, you have perennials. It's really a full group here of plants.
Yes, it is. And today we are doing 30% off of all of our hanging baskets, patio pots, plants, everything you just mentioned is all going to be 30% off.
And strawberries.
Strawberries, yes. We are in the mid season of strawberries right now. So we've got great strawberries already picked that you can get, or you can come out and you pick your own.
Oh, that would be fun. That's fun to bring with the kids.
It is. Oh, it's a great activity. Yeah.
As you can see and hear, there's so much going on today for everyone in your family. There's strawberries, there's plants, there's classes, and there's a Vintage Flea. So please go to gardentime.tv, get all that information, and come out today and have a great one. Thanks so much, everybody.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks. for the tip of the week, we have a great way to exclude cats from your raised beds. You know, we just made this raised bed nice and fresh for the season with fresh new soil, and there's already kitty prints.
Now, one of the ways that you can do that is to buy this like bird netting, and it protects, you know, vegetables and fruit. You stretch it over the bed. The problem with this, though, is you really have to pay attention to when the plants start to grow, because if they get too big, you're going to tear them up as you take this off.
So we have another way that's a little bit easier. You just need push pins and some kind of line. We're using jute here. We've put the push pins in at intervals on the wood, and all you have to do is kind of stretch it across and zigzag it.
Now, one of the other things you can use is this monofilament line or fishing wire, and that you can put on, do the same system. Now, the benefit of this is you can take it off and use it year after year. However, some people would like something more natural, like the jute.
You know, this way, once your plants are growing up and the cats aren't going to be bothering it, you could just take it up and it's not unsightly.
So, protecting your raised beds from neighborhood pets or your own, that's our tip of the week.
Since 1982, the Wall has been making local gardens beautiful, naturally. Whether you need a new wall, concrete patio, fire pit, or driveway, the Wall's expert craftsmen can build it. We back up our work with a 5-year warranty, so you'll know it'll last. We use the highest quality materials, including stamped colored concrete, natural stone, and we're the leader in using recycled concrete. Create an outdoor environment you'll enjoy for years, with the help of your friends at The Wall.
Judy,
Yep.
Do you remember when I asked you if you liked me? I mean, if you really liked me?
Yeah, I liked you on Facebook.
Yeah, well, I need you to do that again.
Well, we really need everyone to like the new Facebook page for Garden Time. So you just go to gardentime.tv and click on the Facebook icon and like us again for our brand new page.
When you plant your flower baskets and containers this year, consider Black Gold All-Purpose Potting Mix for the best results. This worm castings-enriched, well-drained potting soil has a controlled release fertilizer to feed your plants up to 6 months. Black Gold All-Purpose Potting Mix now contains resilience for enhanced plant growth. Available at garden centers everywhere. For more information, visit blackgold.bz. All the riches of the earth.
No matter what shade your green thumb is, you can find the plants and the help you need at Wavra Farms. We're filled with an astounding array of colorful plants to fill your garden. In addition to wonderful annuals and perennials, we are known for our hanging baskets. We also have all your garden essentials, and we have great garden gifts too. From beginner to expert, you'll find something new and different with every visit. Wavra Farms, located off Highway 22, Exit 5, east of Salem.
So I am sitting here with Dr. Ken Weiser, and we are at Providence Hospital. And you know, we get books quite often at Garden Time. We just received this one, and it made us start thinking about so many gardeners that have allergies and struggle, especially in springtime, by being outside. So we thought, who better to talk to than Dr. Ken Weiser here about allergies, because that's really what you look at, isn't it?
Yeah, we look at the whole person. How can we reduce people's reaction to allergens without drugs, essentially?
Certainly. And so then, from a gardening person's perspective, it would seem like to me, there's always going to be pollen and stuff out there that we're going to struggle with, but there are some things that we can do. Let's talk about some of those.
Yeah, well, you can either hold your breath for a really long time, and that's not going to work.
No.
Or you can do lots of little things that are going to take you away from the threshold of misery. The threshold of misery of sneezing, coughing, tiredness, runny eyes, all that stuff. So the main thing is really hygiene.
Really?
Now, hygiene's hard to do outside, but you can do it. You can wear a mask, a surgical mask or some kind of mask, even a hat, and then they have the hats with a big, cloth around. Hydration, really important.
Really?
Yes, really, really important. Drinking lots of fluids, because basically you breathe the allergens into your nose and sinuses. And if you get dry, they get stuck there. And if they get stuck there, you react. So you have little cilia, little hairs that go brrrr, all the way down. to the back of your throat, and then the allergens are supposed to go into your stomach, and stomach acid's supposed to kill them. But if they stay there, we have problems. So lots of hydration. And as you garden, take breaks. Drink water, wash your hands, because we get a lot of allergens from our hands. You're gardening, you touch your face, you touch your nose, you touch your eyes, you touch your clothes. And then hygiene in terms of washing out your nose and sinuses.
It's a teapot.
It's a nose teapot.
Oh, that's lovely.
So you can wash out the allergens from your sinuses too, not just your hands. So you can use this with saline solution, and there's lots of different kinds, a neti pot or other things. And you can do that a few times a day. Also, when you get home, hygiene, wash your clothes, wash your bedding, especially your pillowcases, because this stuff's going to persist. So lowering your exposure is really, really, really important.
And so even though there's all kinds of things out there that as a medicine perspective can help us, doing a lot of these things really is a big step in beginning to alleviate some of those issues that we would have.
Yeah, the medicines, the OTC medicines, they're just going to stop your body from doing what it wants to do, which is trying to get rid of the allergens. But if you have less allergens, you're not going to react.
And you really, I think that you want to have some type of reaction. Our bodies are built to react to things. So if we stop all those, then we really don't know what might actually be going on.
We don't know what's going on, your body can't get rid of it, and you don't know what's actually triggering it.
Yeah.
So your body is telling you something's wrong, great. So go upstream to stop what's causing that.
Yeah.
Go to the cause, not to the effect.
So certainly, Dr. Weiser, at this time of year, we're all thinking pollen, but there's a host of other things too that people can be allergic to.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Allergies are basically steps up a ladder, and then you hit the top of the ladder and you hit your threshold, and boom, you start getting reactions.
Yeah.
So there can be food allergies that are partially up that ladder. People allergic to dairy, wheat, chocolate, sugar, whatever it is. There are allergens in food. There are people allergic to certain medicines, certain soaps. People can be allergic to anything, and they can all add up, and not just pollen, but lots of different things in the environment. And as the seasons change and we get drier and we get outside more, all of a sudden, boom, 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 and then we think it's pollen, but pollen may be the last thing.
Yeah, that's true.
So really, you got to look at this as a whole person. What do you eat? Are you sleeping enough? You get enough fruits and veggies? You're not eating too much sugar? You avoiding the things that you know you don't digest well or you react with? Because they can all add up to where, boom, you get hit. So you need to get worked up. Talk to your doctor, talk to your local health practitioner, find out what's happening with your body, your reactions, and walk on back down that ladder so you don't react.
So, and that's very smart. So take a less myopic view of just pollen and maybe look at the bigger picture.
Absolutely.
Well, you know, it's that time of year where we have to deal with things like this if we're in the garden. So you can go to gardentime.tv. We'll click you over to the Providence website where they have some wonderful information. Or go to your doctor, check with him, and see if you can find out how to alleviate these problems so you can really enjoy your garden all year long. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Welcome to Blooming Junction, where it's easy to connect with nature. At Blooming Junction, you'll find beautiful, healthy plants, good, fresh food, and a place to regain peace and calm in your life. We have an unsurpassed collection of unique and distinctive plants and the expertise to help any gardener be successful. And we feature blooming advantage plants. Come check out Blooming Junction for an inspiring experience in the garden or in the kitchen. Blooming Junction, offering quality plants for beautiful gardens.
William, I'm serving you papers.
Oh.
But don't worry, it's a pair of 3-day passes for the Oregon Jamboree.
And if you want to know how you can lock up these free passes, all you have to do is go to gardentime.tv, send us your name in your email.
So don't forget, enter today.
Do you have a leaning or broken fence? Fix a broken fence with ease. Made in Oregon, the sturdy fence post bracket can mend your drooping fence. Strong winds, falling debris, dry rot, and wayward drivers can all cause havoc on your once sturdy fence. Our sturdy bracket attaches to your existing fence and is easily installed in 30 minutes. Limit waste, materials, and save money by fixing your existing fence. Purchase online at sturdfence.com or visit participating Par Lumber and Pro Build stores.
Dram is celebrating 75 years of design and manufacturing of quality watering tools. Dram products feature 9 water patterns and are designed to nurture your plants with a shower of rain. Dram for lawn and garden, available at garden centers near you.
I'm standing in the beautiful garden of 2 amazing women that were landscape designers back in the 1920s, and they were Lord and Schryver. And so first of all, let's figure out who those people are. I'm here with Bobby at this beautiful home of theirs. Tell me about these 2 amazing women.
Well, it's really a fascinating story. Let's deal first with Elizabeth Lord, who was a native Salemite. Her father was a Supreme Court judge and governor for one term, and the family owned actually the quarter block on which this property is now located. After her mother died, her mother Juliet was a very ardent gardener, so I think she kind of picked it up from that. But after her mother died, she was encouraged by her brother to go to Lothrop School in Groton, Massachusetts, which was a very, very rigorous program only for women. Simultaneously, Edith Schryver, who grew up in Kingston, New York, was working, had gone to Pratt, was a watercolorist, and she had worked in the office as an intern of the office of Ellen Shipman, who was kind of a guru in women landscape architecture of the period. They both went to Lothrop at different times, but in 1927, they both were members of a group, a tour to England and the rest of Western Europe, sponsored.
So is that where they met then?
That was where they met. That was where they met in 1927. And then they decided to stay on for a month or so afterwards because they both were interested in the genre of Spanish gardening. They kind of agreed that they were so compatible in terms of their vision of a garden and what they wanted to do. And so the understanding was that Edith would come out here, in the West. She had always wanted to come. And so in 1929, out she comes, and they established their firm, which lasted until 1969.
And that is, it's an amazing story because I think we forget in 2017 that this was the 20s, 1920s, and it was great strength for them to follow this passion and start an industry that was highly male dominated.
Absolutely, yeah, they were. So imagine starting a business in 1929, any kind of business, and they were women operating in a man's world. And then of course with the onset of the Depression, there was not that much money floating around for gardens, but they had quite a clientele and survived and continued, as I say, the firm through 1969. The site that we are here now was their personal garden, which was really the test of their design principles.
Lovely.
Because they didn't have to cater to the wish of any client.
Well, and now I'm going to jump over here and talk to Lindsay. And Lindsay, tell me what you do here.
I am the curator and garden manager at Gady Hollow. I also work at Deepwood 1 day a week, which was also a Lord and Schryver designed garden, and it's just down the street here. I am working to rehabilitate the gardens here, to take them back to the time period when Lord and Schryver were most active here, 1929 to 1969.
And how is it that you think you're going to do that? Do you have records? Do you have a lot of information?
Yes. We use a lot of their plans, their historic photographs, their journals, oral histories with people that knew them at the time. So we're kind of recreating the garden that they loved and enjoyed and making it open to the public.
So Lindsay, what if people want to come by and experience this beautiful gardens on their own?
Well, first I would check our website. We do have tours, and we have open gardens.
Nice.
This weekend we actually have an open garden, which is just a 3-hour time period that people can drop in and explore, and that is from 1 to 4 p.m. this coming Sunday, June 11th.
Perfect. Well, it's funny to me that you have this place that is so beautiful, and it is. I mean, the gardens, it's not a huge space anymore.
No, it's not.
But they're exquisitely maintained, and you get the feel of both of those women as you walk through it and see it when you look at the things that they used to create themselves.
Yeah, it's actually a very small space. It's less than half an acre, which is a great place for homeowners to come and learn from.
Right.
How Edith and Elizabeth optimized this small yard and made it absolutely stunning all season of the year.
Lovely, lovely. Well, you know, I can tell you that once you come in here, you can walk through these gardens and you really do feel like you're walking through it with them. For more information on this part of the wonderful Lord and Schryver history that we have, and for more information about the museum, go to gardentime.tv. We'll click you over to their website, come out, bring the family, and visit this exquisite garden and get yourself inspired. Thank you so much, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Little Baja is your source for a whole lot of terracotta and concrete too. From bird baths and benches to Buddhas, bears, and fountains, plus the exclusive Baja chimney, we have an amazing variety of the finest in terracotta and concrete containers. Come check out our selection of statuary for any garden theme or setting. So for something for the garden, deck, or patio, come see us at Little Baja on East Burnside in Portland. Find us on Facebook too.
2 stages, 25 shows, one sweet weekend. It's the 25th anniversary of the Oregon Jamboree, presented by Boulder Falls Inn, starring Jason Aldean, Little Big Town, Chris Jansen, Lauren Elena, Chase Rice, and on his farewell tour, Kenny Rogers. The Oregon Jamboree happening August 4th through the 6th. Tickets and camping on sale now at OregonJamboree.com. Let's get this thing started. It's my kind of party.
Judy, do you remember when I asked you if you liked me? I mean, if you really liked me?
Yeah, I liked you on Facebook.
Yeah, well, I need you to do that again.
Well, we really need everyone to like the new Facebook page for Garden Time. So you just go to gardentime.tv and click on the Facebook icon and like us again for our brand new page.
At Garland Nursery, you'll find
Top quality plants,
4 generations of garden know-how,
fun and fantastic garden decor,
and the best in garden supplies.
Come visit us at Garland Nursery.
Since 1937, inspiring beautiful and bountiful gardens.
Join us for Berries, Brews, and Barbecue, now happening 3 weekends in June, featuring Oregon craft ciders and brews and barbecue. Enjoy barbecue. You pick strawberries, hay rides, live music, and much, much more. It's farm fun for the whole family at French Prairie Gardens.
It is a beautiful day out, and I'm here with Kevin from the Regional Water Providers Consortium. And Kevin, normally when people are watching the show, we're talking about plants, so we're thinking green thumb, but you have this new list of things for watering called blue thumb. Tell me about that.
Basically, the whole precept is in order to do your plants the benefit, or give your plants the benefit of the water, you need to know how to water.
Right.
And so we learn about plant properties and soil properties and all of this, but we forget that there's water. We think that we can just go out there and water and everything is just fine.
So you guys came up with the top 5 things to pay attention to, and really, they're all pretty simple, aren't they?
Very simple, very simple, and they will give you a better bang for your buck for your water dollar. We all know that we're spending a lot of money on our summer watering, right, and this is a way to mitigate some of that cost and keep a good, healthy plants.
Well, let's jump to number 1. What is that?
Well, the first thing to know is when to water. And that goes across not just time, but also seasonally. You know, this year we've had a tremendous amount of rainfall, and you can tell walking around here that
it's still mushy on the lawn.
It's very soggy. And we haven't had a lot of hot days to pull that water out of the soil.
Right.
So when to water also comes with knowing when your soil is at a point that your plants need water. So that would be one part. The other part is the time of day. As we move into the summer, the air gets hotter, the ground gets hotter, so the evaporation happens at a much quicker rate. Our job is to get that water down when there's the least climatic effect, so it's allowed to saturate or soak into the ground deeper before the sun hits. So your plant has more access to deeper water.
And really, a lot of that just makes sense if you stop and think about it, because then you would really pay more attention to when you have to water.
Exactly. We usually recommend that you end your watering by 10 o'clock in the morning.
And then don't pick it up till like 6 or 7 at night?
I usually say late. I like the 10 to 10 thing.
Perfect.
If it's too dark, 8 to 10, But
so what about number 2? Where are we going after that?
Well, the second one we want to talk about is how much you need to water. And that's going to depend on the plant type, and it's going to depend on the season. When the plant type, obviously the roots of a tree or the roots of a shrub is going to be much deeper than the roots of a lawn. So those two things are going to be an obvious takeaway for you. The other thing is the time of year. In mid to end May, we can get some warm weather, but we still have extended cool weather in the morning. So you're not going to need to water as much in May as you are probably in the end of June or into July or August, where our heat level goes up tremendously.
Certainly.
So you can adjust that factor based on the season, and you really should go and change your water at least monthly.
So Kevin, what would be an easy way to gauge the water usage? How much?
So an easy way to go is to go to the website, conservh2o.org. They post the weekly water number, which is a combination of what the plants use and what the soil naturally evaporates, and it gives you a recommendation for how much you need to water on a week-to-week basis.
Nice. So Kevin, what is our next step, number 3?
The next thing is to water to your plants in particular. And again, like we said earlier, we're looking at shrubs versus lawns. So the depth of the water, we want to water enough to get that moisture to move down through the soil to the root level so that the plants can use it. The way we do it is we lengthen the frequency between watering. So in other words, if you're used to watering every other day, in order to promote better root growth, you're probably going to water once every 3 days. And you're going to water enough that it's going to get down to that root level and then pull the water off. What that does is it encourages the plant to go looking for water, which the way a plant looks for water is extending those roots down.
Correct, yeah. So you're making it stronger by doing that.
Yes.
So now that leads us into our 4th point, which is about water runoff.
Right. Every type of soil reacts to water differently. Here in this region, we have heavy clays typically, which means that the water infiltrates slower. So when we start watering thoroughly, we may put on the water at a faster rate than what the soil can absorb, which means that it'll end up down there. We want to keep our water on our property to the plants, and so what we may need to do is to adjust our watering cycle to be what we call in the business cycle and soak, which is we run for a brief period of time, we stop, allow that water to infiltrate in, and run again. Your eyes are your best indicator. A really good tip is to go out there and turn a zone on, look at your watch, see how long it takes before you see that water starting to puddle or run off, and then calculate how much water you need to give and set that up in start time so that you can water it 3 or 4 times in a cycle.
And once again, we're back to paying attention to our gardens with what's happening. So that leads us to the last one, number 5.
Number 5 is sort of the method in which you do better with all of the first 4. And that has to do with that soil, and it's adding amendments or mulches to help that soil infiltrate that water, to benefit it so that the water that you put on your yard stays on your yard.
So mulching just isn't to help with weeding problems, it's also for water.
It does. It helps reduce the frequency of water because the mulch will prevent the water from evaporating as rapidly.
Yeah.
Plus it helps hold the water in place so it stays where we put it.
Perfect. Well, there you have it. Now, those are the top 5 tips. If you want more specific information about each one, we always invite you to go to gardentime.tv. We'll click you over to the Water Providers Consortium website and gather all that information for yourself. As always, my friend, thank you, Kevin.
You bet.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
Spring is the time when minds turn to a Vintage Flea. Stop by Margie's Farm and Garden and see tons of handcrafted gifts and unique vintage items. There are treasures that will please everyone in the family. Reclaim a vintage item that will become an instant heirloom in your family. We have tasty treats while you shop, and we will have 30% off all our flowers too. We will also be offering classes where you can make a handcrafted gift that you can take home. We'll see you at a Vintage Flea.
In the summer months, water use can double or triple due to outdoor watering. Here are 3 simple tips to help save water and money this summer. Set your sprinklers so that they're watering your lawn and plants and not the pavement. Water early in the morning or later in the evening when temperatures are cooler. Group plants with similar water, shade, and sun needs together. For more water conservation information and tips, check out the Regional Water Providers Consortium at www.conserveh2o.org.
Don't you just love all the things inside Garden Time magazine? So much great information about gardening.
I do, William. There's new plants, adventures, recipes, local gardeners, home tips.
And it's free, right in your email. But there's 2 things you left out.
What's that?
You and me. We write some of the articles and get to share our gardening knowledge.
Of course. I should have... William, where did you go?
Right here, Judy. You'll find both of us every month in Garden Time magazine.
Sign up for your free subscription on the Garden Time website.
Join us for Berries, Brews, and Barbecue, now happening 3 weekends in June, featuring Oregon craft ciders and brews and barbecue. Enjoy barbecue. You pick strawberries, hay rides, live music, and much, much more. It's farm fun for the whole family at French Prairie Gardens.
Standards prices are great. We've checked. They're very competitive. That's why we use them.
You don't have to waste time running around making phone calls. It's good to know when working with Standard that our staff doesn't have to spend incredible amounts of time searching for pricing.
And even with the clients that have checked around, they've always come back to Standard as being their best buy.
Since 1947, we set the standard. Standard TV and appliance.
Come to where the color is. Come to Egan Gardens. We've worked hard growing healthy plants for you so that your gardening is easy. Add sparkle to your garden with our perennials, container plants, and skillfully designed baskets and planters.
June is Perennial Gardening Month. Come and celebrate it with us. We'll give you 20% off all 1-gallon perennials through June 15th.
Egan Gardens, where it's all about the plants. We're located west of I-5 at exit 263 on River Road.
William, I'm serving you papers.
Oh.
But don't worry, it's a pair of 3-day passes for the Oregon Jamboree.
And if you want to know how you can lock up these free passes, all you have to do is go to gardentime.tv, send us your name in your email.
So don't forget, enter today. I'm at Little Baja in Burnside with Jared, and Jared, you know, it is summertime, but it's cool in our evenings, and you have these great chimeneas to take out that chill.
Yeah, these are a great excuse to stay out in the evenings when it starts cooling off, keep your friends and family together a little longer.
And there are some tips to really make it work efficient for us.
Sure, I think the most important is to let it start up nice and slow. Start with just kindling a newspaper till you take the chill out of the clay, and once you've done that, it's not cold to the touch anymore, you can add your bigger pieces of wood.
And what I like about this is that the smoke goes up. It's not like a fire pit where the smoke goes everywhere.
Exactly. You get that draw. We have a wide opening and a wide stack, so it takes everything up and out of the picture.
And you know, you have this kind of raised up, so that's a really great idea too. You don't have to have it flush on the patio.
Yeah, sure. A lot of folks do like to raise it up off the floor, bring it up to the seating level. I used a wood pedestal I built at home. You could use cinder blocks, anything just kind of elevate it up a little.
And you know, I noticed that it's not a huge fire, but it's really giving off a lot of heat here.
Yeah, it really projects a lot of that heat right out the front. We use these caps on here. Once it gets going, this slows down that draw. So it'll plume some more of that heat right out the front instead of going all up and out.
And do we have to clean it out very often, or does the ash need to get cleaned?
You know, we burn in ours every day here, so we clean ours every couple weeks, but you'll kind of figure out your own schedule. It's real easy. Just get in there with a piece of cardboard, scoop the ashes right into your compost.
And you know, I noticed that you don't just have the clay chimeneas, you have some metal ones too that are very unique.
Yeah, we do.
And so are there any benefits between the metal or the clay?
Well, there's pros and cons to both. The clay, you need to let it warm up gradually. You don't have that with the metal chimeneas. However, the metal can get really hot. So if you have children or grandchildren around, you wouldn't want them to bump into it. They could get scolded.
And Jared, I saw another unique fire pit here. What is it made out of?
Well, it's made out of metal. It's a recycled washing machine.
It is really cool. So with all the different styles that you have here, what kind of wood do we need?
Well, with the clay chimeneas, it's a little more important to use harder woods, something that's not going to pop and burst and have a good coal base. And with the metal chimeneas, you don't really need to worry about that. You can just stock them up and they're good to go.
Well, for all of your summer entertaining, you have to come down to Little Baja, talk to Jared and the other staff here, and really have a fire pit or a chimney on your patio for you and your friends all summertime. Well, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Garden Time's Incredible Edibles.
Well, it is such a delight for me to be standing here with Mirna, and we are at World Foods at the Everett location. And you know, Mirna, it is that time of year when spring is happening. We're looking forward to fresh produce coming in, and you're going to give us a recipe that uses a lot of that. Now, tell me what we're going to be making.
So we're going to be making a red cabbage wedge salad. We're going to roast our cabbage in the oven, and we're going to top it with quinoa, yellow beet, and feta cheese, and we will be doing a pomegranate and olive oil vinaigrette.
Now, all of that I've heard of, except the yellow beets. That's a newer variety to me. So why would you choose those over the regular beets?
They're not as mild as the regular beet, and I love the color, and they're not. They don't stain your hands like beet.
So what is the first step you're going to take in creating this?
So we're going to boil the beets first.
Okay.
It's going to take around 2 hours to boil them at home.
Wow. Okay. And then what's the next step?
And the next step is to get your cabbage and cut them in half and thirds. Place them on your tray.
And you really love good knives, don't you? Because those are hard to cut like that.
Yeah, very good knife.
And that's all you do to them? You're not going to season them or anything before you
cook them? Yeah, I will season them with salt and olive oil and place them in the oven on 450.
And about how long do you think that takes normally?
It depends on the oven. It takes around 20 minutes at least for the house oven to be done.
Okay, okay. So we're going to let you place that and then we'll be right back.
Thank you.
Okay, now Mirna, we're at that stage where the cabbage is still in the oven, but you cooked the quinoa, and then these are the yellow beets, right?
Yeah, those are my yellow beet that are already cooked.
And how long was that process
again? Around a couple hours, but the quinoa is pretty fast. It's around 15 minutes.
Okay.
Now I'm gonna slice them, dice them small.
And you really, they're very, very soft and tender
very
now, aren't
soft. Yeah, you have to be patient with beet. Make sure they're very soft.
And you're right, there isn't that kind of pinkish red stain everywhere now.
No, it's a beautiful color.
So I'm gonna let you finish that up, and then when we come back, we're gonna pull out the cabbage and complete this wonderful dish.
So here's our quinoa with the beet.
And this is just the preparation for the top of the salad now that you're blending together.
Yes. Kind of mix it together. I'll add some salt. Lemon zest. I love lemon zest. It gives a freshness to everything that you do. And then we're gonna use the lemon juice also.
So you zest first, then you cut and squeeze.
Yeah. Why waste a good the peel of the zest?
Right. I couldn't agree more.
Olive oil.
And this is the same olive oil you poured onto the cabbage. And what is that?
That's a pomegranate molasses to give it a little bit of sweetness.
And Mirna, we can buy all of these different things at the store, can't we?
Yeah, we have them all on our shelf.
And so what we're going to do now is it's going to be about just a few more minutes before the cabbage is ready, then we're going to come out and complete it.
Yeah.
Okay, Mirna, this is the cabbage. What are we going to do with it?
So we have our plates ready for plating.
Uh-huh.
So here's the cabbage on each plate.
And you're just setting the wedges out.
Yeah.
Now this is the topping that we just finished making, right?
Yeah.
And look at that. So you're just ladling right on top of there. Now, you know, in my world, I would call that done, but you're not done, are you?
No, we still, the amazing feta cheese on it.
Uh-huh.
And you can slice feta, you don't have to crumble it.
Well, of course, now I'm going to have to give that a try.
It's going to melt over the hot cabbage. It will taste so good.
Okay.
And to finish our beautiful salad, we have our pea shoots here.
And those are just fresh pieces?
Fresh.
I mean, you're literally cutting them right now
Yeah.
on the ground.
And then I would like to add a little bit more dressing to my salad. So I'm gonna put more on the side, pomegranate molasses, more olive oil, a little bit more salt, more of the zest.
And so you're making this just to be a finishing touch on top, right?
Yeah.
Because really a good dressing can just, that is like the cherry on top, right?
Yeah, it is. You need that little bit more to dip into your salad into a dressing. You need a little bit more on your plate.
And then after this, this really is the completed salad.
So here we are ready to eat our salad.
All right, Mirna, while I have a taste of this, you're going to tell everybody that there are 3 different locations you guys have where they can taste this kind of wonderful food.
Yeah, we have our store on Barber Boulevard, Barber World Food, and we have our store also here on Everett, World Food Everett, and then the restaurant Yahala Lebanese Cuisine, where you get your food hot on the table.
My goodness, and the flavors. That's what I love about it. There's so many great flavors there. It's absolutely delicious.
Thank
so
you.
for more information, and if you're just itching to try this yourself, you can go to gardentime.tv. We'll give you the recipe there, or you can visit any of the 3 wonderful locations where you can have a full meal. Thank you so much,
Thank
Mirna.
you for including me in the show.
You're welcome.
William, I found it.
What?
The appendix.
Oh, no, I can do without it. Thank you so much. We also wanted to say a big thank you to all of you that came out to Capital Subaru Garden Days. It was a great day, and we got to buy some plants and beautiful stuff for our gardens.
We also want to invite you to go to gardentime.tv for any other questions about today's show or to visit past shows.
Thank you so much for choosing to spend time with us today, and we look forward to doing it again next week, right here on Garden Time.
What are you looking for?
Judy, I'm looking for the Garden Time Subaru.
William, it's right behind us.
And you can find it too. It's as easy as going to gardentime.tv.
So click on gardentime.tv and click on the Subaru. Each month the Subaru will be in a different location. Give us your best guess and you could possibly win.
Each month, 1 lucky person will be chosen from all the correct answers. Prizes can include a gift card to a great nursery, some wonderful tools, or other sweet prizes.
So go to gardentime.tv and help us find the Subaru.
The proceeding was a paid program of the Guston Creative Group and its sponsors.